Hello, today I will talk and show you the 5 most dangerous but also most common toxins that you will find in your daily life. I would advise you to distance yourself from these things, and I will offer you also alternatives to avoid these things in your life. Some of them might not seem too bad, but make no mistakes, these 5 things are the main cause of your depression, your mood swings, your low testosterone, your tiredness, and other first world problems/illnesses that will make your life more miserable. First of all, social media is also a kind of toxin and other bad habits, but I will specifically talk about literal toxins. The first and most prevalent of all toxins is something that we will find in almost every meal or food, especially in processed food. It's sugar. Sugar in all its forms, maltodextrin, sucrose, glucose, and all of the other fancy variations that are just short carbohydrates. Sugar is in almost everything. It is a cheap way to enhance the taste and increase the expiration date. Sugar is everywhere, from cornflakes to breakfast to drinks and takeaway foods. You can find sugar everywhere, even in nut mixes, dried fruits, and other things like takeaway hummus even. So always read the labels and try to avoid it. Try to cut down carbohydrates as much as possible, and especially industrial sugars. As soon as you stop eating sugar, you will feel like you're on a withdrawal therapy and will realize how addicted you actually are. But stay strong, you will increase your health drastically. No diabetes, no insulin resistance, no body fat, a more active immune system, less allergies and inflammations. That's very important. The more sugar you eat, the more inflammations you will have. All of the microorganisms in your body, especially in your guts, will consume the sugar and make you feel less healthy. And another advantage is you have less itchy skin, you have no acne, next to no acne, a better skin in general, and you will sleep better. And in general, you will have more energy. The next one is actually healthy, but it depends on which kind you consume. Water. Not water itself, but tap water. By God, stop drinking tap water. The government is not caring for you, and also big pharma and big companies do not care about you. Why is this important? Tap water may be safe to drink in terms of microbes and contamination, but toxic waste, medical waste, especially medical waste from hospitals and other nursing homes and all other medical facilities, they throw that shit not in the garbage. Mostly they will clean it in the sink and it will end up in your water. And also, the hormones, specifically estrogens and progesterone, are found in tap water. All these women taking the pills so they can fuck through the world and back, piss into the water supply, and it ends up contaminating the water supply with their hormones. Purification plants filter only bacteria and maybe viruses if you are lucky, but they do not clean for lead or other toxic metals, microplastics or chemical waste. Some of these things just come from the pipes itself. Some pipes are still lead pipes and will decrease your health. Big Pharma pays a bunch of money so the normies don't know it and will not realize it, but there are traces of medical waste in the tap water. There are some people that say you shouldn't care about it because the doses is very small and it won't affect you, but just think about it. Even if it is only a trace amount, you should drink multiple liters a day, every day, so you will reach a high doses eventually. There is a reason why rich people, and especially some people like Bill Gates, who force you or say that tap water is healthy, meanwhile they are not drinking them themselves. You will always see bottled water in front of them, you will always see bottled water on the tables, and meanwhile they will claim that you have to drink tap water because it's healthy, but they avoid it like the plague. So make no mistake and do not believe them. Just look how they act. They do not drink their own shit, even though they want to convince you that you should drink it. Do not do it. I already named the next toxin, but this will be a huge part. Listen up closely. Plastic softeners and other microplastics. Man, have you ever wondered why guys from today look more feminine and less mature than a man from the 60s? It's mostly because most glasses got exchanged for plastic, and you will find microplastic and plastic waste everywhere now. There is so much plastic waste in the ocean, all fishes and even your salt is full of plastic. That's why you should only use Himalayan salt or Celtic salts, because they are not from the ocean, they are extracted from mountains. They are extracted from mountains, and these mountains and the sea existed before plastic was invented, so you're safe to use that. For example, if your drink that is in a plastic bottle gets up to 50 degrees Celsius, micro traces of your plastic bottles and the softeners will end up in your drink, so you're actually drinking microplastic. And the worst of the worst is a microwave food. People buy microwave food which is wrapped in plastic. Man, stop it. How disgusting are you? Putting your shit meal, which is already in a plastic bag, into a microwave and press the start instantly contaminates the food and make it even worse. And the worst thing is, they use this microwave food and it tastes like shit. And then it also drastically decreases their health. And now something I've seen, how stupid and lazy have the people become. I saw a go-to fast food shop. They offer you a basic fast food in a plastic bag and you can heat it up manually by putting a chemical component into the box. The water in the box will get heated up to over 100 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, your food is in the plastic box that gets up to 100 degrees Celsius, steaming your food. And this is, and like I said, it's in a plastic box, and the plastics and microplastics, of course, end up in your food. Can you even imagine how disgusting this is? And the worst thing is, it costs the same as a normal meal that you could buy in a store or a restaurant. So they're basically paying the same price to poison themselves. And then you also need fresh water. So you need a sink to fill up the water before you put a chemical component in there to steam your food. So the idea of a takeaway food that you can heat manually is just not possible, because you need a sink. And where are the sinks? At your home or at work. And at home and at work you already have pots and a stove. So you should actually do it manually and not buy this disgusting plastic garbage waste. And the funny part is, all of these leftists and green people who claim that the environment is going to, and you should take a part of their protest and stop wasting food and plastics, all of these are the people that would buy that shit. That is the ironic part about it. Like I said, you shouldn't consume any plastic wrapped food, and especially not put it in a microwave, and especially not heat it up over 100 degrees Celsius in a plastic box and eat from it. So not only it contaminates your food, but you eat out of it, you even poison yourself more. Just stop using that and do not buy that product. Speaking of processed food, stop eating that shit completely. It combines all of the other things above. They use tap water to cook and produce the food. They add huge amounts of sugar and wrap it up in plastic. And the food itself contains plastic. Do you think that a minimum wage worker cares about plastic in your food or trash in your food? They just cook the food and give it to you and fuck off, because they're not paid enough to give a fuck. Like I said, they contain plastic and big amounts of sugar. So abolish all of the processed food. And with processed food, I mean microwave food, pizzas from a freezer, McDonald's, and all of these fast food restaurants that just will poison you. If you know how they produce the goods, you would rather starve to death than eating that shit again. And processed food is the pinnacle of everything that you don't want. Unhealthy sugar, shitty carbohydrates, no valuable fats or proteins, and it's full of plastic and shit tap water and hormones, especially the beef and other milk products, dairy products, especially in America, where they put all of the chemicals and all of the medical shit into the cows, and it ends up in your food. Stop eating it. I hope it's not the first time that you hear that you should stop going to McDonald's or other fast food places. But if you heard it the first time, or if you're still going there, just stop. And also, a thing about processed food: do not go vegan under any circumstances, and do not consume soy. Plastic is extremely dangerous for men, especially because plastic and tap water will change your hormone balance. They are acting as phytoestrogens and will disrupt your entire hormone balance. That's why you shouldn't eat soy as well. People always claim soy has no proven fact that it causes you to become more feminine, but let's just be real. The only body type 99% of all vegans are either stick figures or fat slobs. It's because of the soy. The phytoestrogens will impact your health. Think about it. You cook at high temperatures. Can you really guarantee that the phytoestrogens stay the same and do not spontaneously lose a hydroxyl group and turning into another phytoestrogen or even estrogen itself and trigger your receptors? You know, every human has receptors for every hormone, and some receptors are more specific. That's why some people have allergies and some don't. Do you really want to take the risk and consume phytoestrogens even though you don't know if your body actually accepts it as an estrogen component or not? And also, it is highly processed food. You have no idea how they cook it up. Even good fats, if you cook them for long enough, they will become bad fats. The deep fry, the longer the fat is in the deep fry, the more negative impact it has on you. That's why you should not eat deep fried shit, because it is always unhealthy. You have no idea how long this fat has been there. And the same is with these phytoestrogens. You have no idea how long they are processed, how they are processed, and some of them phytoestrogens could already turn into real estrogen or another phytoestrogen that will resonate with your receptors, and then you will become a fat slob. And another thing is, do you know why vegans are slim? The vegans who are slim are the vegans that stop eating meat and do not compensate for it, so they eat basically nothing but shitty food that will not give them enough energy. And then you have the vegans that substitute the meat with every single shit they found. And this is even worse, because now they were full of phytoestrogen, full of bad fats, full of shitty fats, and they look like it. And they age so bad. Oh my God. If you know a person and when they turn vegan and are strictly vegan for 4 years, you think they age like 20 years. It is disgusting, man. And you want to tell me, all of these people do not get the omega-3 and omega-6 they need, especially the omega-3, because they don't eat fish, they don't eat other things. And this will turn their skin completely shit. Stop going vegan. Do not go vegan. If you really want to better your health, do a ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet is the only way to go, no matter what other people tell you. Eggs, meat, vegetables, nothing else. And also another advantage, some people say, if you go keto, you don't have enough vitamins. This is absolute bullshit, because if you don't eat sugar, you don't actually need that much vitamins. You only need a trace amount of vitamins if you don't eat carbohydrates, because carbohydrate actually leads to vitamins getting lost. And also a thing about vegans, they are 24/7 pissed, because their entire system is completely burnt out. They have no idea what they're doing to their body. Do not turn vegan and do not consume soy products, because it's the worst of both worlds. You not only have a shit diet, but you also put yourself full with phytoestrogen. Do not consume it. And if you don't believe me, just look at all of the vegans. 99 out of 100 vegans look like shit. There's one vegan that maybe is buff. That's probably because his genetics and his receptors are perfectly fine for vegan food. But you're not the exception. You're probably the rule. And the last toxin I will talk about is not something that you consume, but it's also a toxin. It's radiation. Radiation, because of 5 and 4G terminals. If you use your phone daily or carry your phone in your pockets next to your balls, chances are that your balls will be slowly cooked. The small amount of radiation might not be the problem if you're exposed to it for a couple of minutes, but think about it. People are exposed to the phones 24/7. They sleep with it, they carry it around, they use it, they held it next to their head. And if you don't believe me, then do this experiment. If you go to bed, turn off all your electrical devices, everything that creates electrosmog, turn it off, and position your phone or similar devices outside of your room and use an analog clock to wake yourself up. And I will bet $1 million that you will have a better sleep, especially after a week. You're being exposed to too much electromagnetic radiation. People near 5G towers have already a much higher risk of developing cancer. It's already a proven fact that people that are near to a 5G tower will develop cancer faster. Think about it. 5G is stronger than 4G, but why? Because the radiation is more powerful. The more powerful the radiation, the higher the frequencies of the radiation, the higher the signal of the radiation, the more energy is transmitted through the air, and it will pass right through you. That's why also alpha and beta radiation is not as hard as gamma radiation, because gamma radiation is a higher energy level. And you see what happens to people who are exposed to too much gamma radiation. They will just die. So 5G is not as extreme as gamma radiation, of course. But if you have like just small doses every day, 24/7, you will soon have a lethal dose after a couple of years. And also, if you didn't know, all of these powerful signals who are essentially energy are transmitted through the air to your phone and passing through your brain, your internal organs, your balls, and generally your body. So stop using your phone 24/7 and leave it more often somewhere else. If you go outside, leave it in your car. If you stay at home, leave it somewhere else, but not in the same room. And only use it if you're on the way to work or somewhere else. And if you're at work, put it away. Do not let it cook your balls. If you travel around, leave it in your car. 99.9% of all of your calls and all of your messages are not urgent anyways. So do not disrupt your health just because you're too lazy and cannot leave it for 5 minutes or 50 minutes. Thank you for your attention. And I hope you learned something. Try to avoid these things and you will see a much better life quality overall. Thank you.